Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Brendan, I'm playing a Dealer's Choice, which I'm choosing to use to get Poxwalkers featured on the channel. This is a card that is released newly on Magic Online from the Warhammer set. 2 and a black, creature zombie, 3/1 death touch, with Curse of the Walking Pox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Poxwalkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. There's lots of ways in Magic to cast a spell from places other than your hand. Cascade, Suspend, Flip them off Mind's Desire, Bolus the Citadel, etc., etc. In the cases of this deck, we're talking about Flashback and Escape, casting spells from the graveyard. Notable spells with Flashback in this deck: Faithless Looting, which is a great Dredge enabler. This is the full 5-color Lion's Eye Diamond Dredge. This is the one that's trying to go hard and fast. This is not Manaless Dredge that tries to be stable. This is not Pitch Dredge that tries to play a counterspell game. The blue Dredge that I featured a few weeks ago on the channel. We're just heckin' sending it here. Lion's Eye Diamond makes it pretty easy to cast the front and back half of Faithless Looting in a single turn, sometimes on turn 1. And you see a lot of your deck, flip your Poxwalkers, etc. Cabal Therapy is free if you have a creature to sack. Cast that, get your Poxwalkers back, which creates an interesting thought to me, because if I sack Poxwalkers to flashback Cabal Therapy, do I get back Poxwalkers? Because you announce your spell and pay costs, and after you pay costs, it's placed on the stack. Somewhere in the steps of casting a spell, Poxwalkers will be sacrificed before Cabal Therapy is actually cast. I think you actually do get back Poxwalkers. Hopefully that comes up and we could try it. Going into the rules deep lore already, right here in the deck tech. Otherworldly Gaze isn't part of the engine of this deck, also has Flashback. Ox of Agonis has Escape. Then in the sideboard we have Dread Return and Hogak as well. A lot of ways to cast a spell from places other than your hand. And outside of the new Poxwalker tech, if you're not familiar with the Dredge archetype, it's based on the Dredge mechanic, where if you would draw a card, you may Dredge X instead, where Dredge is, or where X is the Dredge number. If you do, return this card to your hand instead of drawing that card. What we try to do is get 1 or 2 of these things in the graveyard. We've got Grave Troll, Dredge 6, Stinkweed Imp, Dredge 5, Golgari Thug, Dredge 4. Then we try to do something like draw 4 cards and discard our hand. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And we replace all those draws with dredges, and you flip 20, 30 cards into your graveyard, and then Bridge from Below starts doing stuff with Icarids and Narcomoebas and Poxwalkers, and off we go. It's a deck that is famously weak to graveyard hate, but very good against all forms of normal Magic the Gathering that attempts to be played. You win game 1 a lot, and then you have to find a sideboard win somewhere. And for that reason, the sideboard is full of things that either remove graveyard hate once it's in play, or stop it from happening in the first place. That's the deck. This is Dredge. We got a sweet new card in here. Let's jump into it. This is Poxwalker Dredge. Introducing Club GG, the mobile platform that lets you create your own poker clubs and play with your friends anywhere. Creating your own club is easy. Just download the app, set up your club, and invite your friends. But that's not all. With a Club GG membership from just $9.99 per month, you can win prizes weekly, with over $200,000 in prizes being awarded each month. You could win millions just by playing on Club GG, so what are you waiting for? Download Club GG today and start playing with your friends. Subscribe using code BOSH for a free 7-day membership. Visit us at clubgg.net. I'm on the play in round 1 with a hand that is almost bananas. There's no Dredger in this hand. Otherworldly Gaze could set one up. The trick here is if one of these 4 cards had the Dredge mechanic, the play is cast Breakthrough, in response sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond, float probably red, maybe blue because we're already holding a Gaze, and then you discard your Dredgers before you draw 4 and then just flip your deck into the graveyard. That's the line. I'm not sure what the range of keepable hands is here. This is pretty powerful though. I'm going to keep and hope we're not playing against Wasteland. I think I just fired on this Otherworldly Gaze. See what happens. Okay, sweet. Stinkweed Imp into the graveyard, Cabal Therapy into the graveyard, and I think Breakthrough goes into the graveyard as well. And I'm going to play out a Lion's Eye Diamond so I can flash back this Otherworldly Gaze in case I get Wastelanded. I guess I should have played out the other LED if I might activate the first one. Dredge is actually really hard because it's not magic that there is any reps for if you are used to playing normal-ass magic. Okay, I'm going to Dredge Stinkweed Imp here. They're fetching in response to their Bauble trigger. Also, as far as this list goes, don't ask me why there's 1 Lotus Petal, 3 City of Brass, 3 Poxwalkers, 2 Narcomoeba. I don't know. I just pulled this out of a deck dump. I'm trying to get cool new decks on the channel. That's all that's going on here. I have no friggin' idea how to build Dredge. Okay, now I have an Otherworldly Gaze and a Faithless Looting in the graveyard and 7 mana to spend. I'm going to send it on this Breakthrough and just go all in. Okay, so Breakthrough's on the stack. In response, I'm going to sack LED for red. I can hold on to the other one because I'll be hellbent at the end of the spell anyway if it resolves. Brainstorm in response. Emergency meeting. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, it's happening. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. Dredge Grave Troll. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. Dredge Grave Troll. Get 2 Narcomoebas here. I have to discard my hand. Let's try to get the graveyard on the screen. I have to prioritize different things playing this crazy deck. Okay, Narcomoeba comes back. Other Narcomoeba comes back. I could Ox of Agonis here. I don't think they're going to have Force of Will in their hand or they would have cast it by now. How many bridges do I have? I have the 2 I discarded. Haven't milled over another one. Like, I could Faithless Looting now and just flip some more cards. Yeah, let's keep going. Faithless Looting. Which triggers 2 Poxwalkers from the graveyard. And we're about to find out if I can sack these to Cabal Therapy, because my graveyard's full of Cabal Therapies. I imagine my opponent will concede to the first Cabal Therapy, so I don't know what they're on for game 2. I think it's Grixis Delver if they have Mishra's Baubles and Brainstorms on Underground Seas in their deck. Could be some build of Storm, I suppose. That's using Baubles. Those come in and out of the deck in different builds of Storm. Poxwalkers are in. Dredge a Grave Troll. Dredge a Grave Troll. Hit another Narcomoeba. Discard 2 cards. Okay, let's find out if this works. Cabal Therapy, target you, sacrifice a Poxwalker. Hell yeah, it does. Okay, I thought it might. Yeah, it does trigger off itself. That is how spells resolve in Magic the Gathering. Still only 2 bridges in here, but I'd like to see their hand and know what's going on before I go any further, because there are only 11 cards left in my deck. At some point, you gotta know when enough is enough. Yeah, and they scooped to the Cabal Therapy, as I thought they would. Good first game with the deck. And we immediately answered our question from the deck tech. This is where good Dredge players separate from bad Dredge players, and spoiler, I'm a bad one. Knowing exactly how your opponent's going to play against you is really important. You have to know, are they going to bring in Leyline of the Voids, Grafdigger's Cages, Surgical Extractions, Rest in Peace? Did they main deck something like Lion Sash or Endurance? This is the hard part of playing Dredge, is games 2 and 3. And I am leaning on my digital resources since I'm playing online. I went over to MTG Goldfish and clicked through a bunch of Grixis Delver decks. It seemed they all had 2 copies of Grafdigger's Cage and nothing else. They have their counter spells, of course. And there's some stuff that fair decks can do, like Lightning Bolt their own creature to exile your bridge from belows. That kind of stuff happens in game 1s too. But really knowing what to bring in for game 2 and 3. And it seems... I looked at like 5 lists and they all had 2 Grafdigger's Cage, no Surgicals. I'm going to bring in these 4 answers to Grafdigger's Cage. I have to determine what to cut. I guess Lotus Petal helps me play around Daze. It can be scary to go all in versus a deck when we're on the draw that has Force and Daze in it. It means Breakthrough, Careful Study are a little scarier. I still like them though. All right, maybe not. All right, I gotta make a decision. Oh no, I'm out of time. I spent too much time on MTG Goldfish looking up Grixis Delver lists. I could just submit 62. That's not the most heinous thing imaginable. All right, I'm gonna cut an Icarid and then submit 61. I'm just out of time. I shouldn't do this. It's a combo deck. I should have 60 cards in it, but I'm doing my best to not just spew off because I didn't do the basic work. 2 Narcomoebas in the hand sucks. Cabal Therapy, no access to a Dredger. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is the type of hand where you lose to everything, but if they have nothing, you're cooking.
You could just play LED, sack it for red, flashback Faithless Looting, Dredge 10, and maybe you win with triple bridge in the opener. I don't think I'm going to keep this, but I'm just saying. If I see the same hand on 5 cards, I'll consider it. They kept 6. I am going to mulligan this. Okay, here we go. We got some mana and some cards to cast. Bottom Narcomoeba, bottom Poxwalkers. Yeah, all right. Lands and some more stable stuff to do here. The way I play against Dredge as a blue deck is I force of will literally anything that I can. Like, whatever the first spell in the stack is, counter it. Is it Lion's Eye Diamond? It's gone. Is it Faithless Looting? It's gone. Like, whatever it is, counter it. Because at some point, your counter spells don't matter anymore. There we go. They're firing in that BoshNRoll school of interacting with Dredge. Just counter literally anything. Force a negation, get rid of it. Good call. Delver didn't flip. I can play through a Wasteland. I'd still rather not see it, though. Rainstorm. Misty Rainforest is not Wasteland. It might be Grafdigger's Cage, though. Ouch. All right, well, there's that card. I'm going to cast Otherworldly Gaze in my upkeep. That fixes my draws. Gives me card selection at a time when I actually need it. Wow, Daze was their last card. Good job. Okay. Well, Putrid Imp. That's a card I could cast next turn. Delver still hasn't flipped. If I draw another mana source, I could cast Putrid Imp, or Stinkweed Imp, and it has fake Death Touch. Whenever it deals damage to a creature, destroy that creature. Like Death Touch, you could stifle. Which actually came up in a Pauper League I played recently. That was really funny. Alright. Big Imp in. I have to take 2 damage to do this against Delver, but I currently have the best creature in play. They have a land in their hand. And Delver didn't flip, and they didn't like the card they saw. There's the Underground Sea that they picked up for days back in. The mighty 1-2 rules the skies. Lion's Eye Diamond. This card is not super helpful. In Poxwalkers is just a 3-1. You can start bashing. Take another Lightning Bolt's worth of damage off of my lands to cast a stupid, awful spell. I'll get LED out there just in case. Okay, my Death Touch army is ready to battle. I should probably stop casting 3-drops, though, against the Lightning Bolt deck. They probably didn't bring in Price of Progress, but if they did, it's pretty close to lethal already. Murktide Regent. Don't care at all. I got it beat. Grave Troll. I will cast Putrid Imp. That is still a thing that I can do. And I guess I'm going to bash with Poxwalkers. 3-1 Death Touch. You want to trade that Delver off? Bang. Okay, I just need their deck to continue failing for like 5 more turns. Delver still hasn't flipped. No attacks. Got that Murktide. Hiding out on defense. Who would win? A busted Mythic Rare from Modern Horizons or one stinky boy common from Ravnica? Nature's Claim is a big draw. I can take a shot at Grafdigger's Cage and then start dredging. And I have Putrid Imp and LED, so 2 discard outlets ready to go here. Delver flipped, revealing Brainstorm. I'm going to Nature's Claim now. Before they could brainstorm for answers to this, they would need exactly Force of Negation to counter that right now. If they Lightning Bolt my Imp, I can give, or my Stinkweed Imp, there's too many Imps. If they Lightning Bolt Stinkweed Imp, I can give Putrid Imp Flying, and I don't have Threshold, so it can block. I can go to 5 and then try to go off next turn. 1 card left in their hand over there. They're sending the team. Okay. Well, I'm going to trade with Murktide Regent, obviously. I go to 5. Yep, that's dead. And then if I flashback this Otherworldly Gaze, I am in trouble. If I mill, like, I'll die to Bolt, which I can't abide by. If I just dredge 5 in my upkeep, or in my draw step, then I will have Threshold to activate Cephalid Coliseum with, and then I'll be at 4 and sending my deck at my opponent's face. Putrid Imp won't be able to block anymore. Hope I'll have some Narcomoebas by then. Just deciding if I need to discard this Grave Troll now or not. Okay, discard Grave Troll in my upkeep. This thing's not going to be able to block anyway. I might as well get the biggest attack and the most dredge out of it. Narcomoeba's a blocker. Cabal Therapy's in there now. Discard Grave Troll again. Give it more flying. The only thing better than flying is more flying. Oh, Oh, I'm not drawing any cards. So I don't care about Orcish Bowmaster, actually. Okay. Activate Cephalid Coliseum, targeting me. Dredge Grave Troll. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. And Dredge Stinkweed Imp. I hit some bridges there, but that was actually... Let's pop it out and get a look at it. Oh, I can still Otherworldly Gaze with my Lion's Eye Diamond. I can Oxypogonus with my Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, no, we're still cooking. Never mind. I was almost worried that the train was ended. Oxypogonus deeply fucked, though. Here it comes. The big ox. Dredge Grave Troll. Dredge Grave Troll. There's a Narco. Dredge Grave Troll. 10 cards left in my deck. Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba. And I can Cabal Therapy, sacking something. I think I'd rather go to combat first. Get my 5 damage, because Poxwalkers is the thing I want to sack to Cabal Therapy. If they Bowmaster, they could kill their own Bowmaster to clear my bridges. Let's find out. Target you with Therapy, discarding Poxwalkers. 4 bridge triggers on the stack. They're all in there. Okay, yeah, this is all just happening. I'm going to name Lightning Bolt. Though I think they would have used that already. Just the card I'm most worried about. Force of Will. Okay, cool. Don't care about that. And now the Poxwalkers, I could just sack them as many times as I want, because they just keep coming back. Take the Force of Will. Yeah, Poxwalker triggering itself off of a Cabal Therapy is pretty sick. A powerful interaction, to be sure. And I could Therapy again. I have Omega Lethal in play, but, you know, what am I worried about here? If they have a Pyroclasm, my bridges die anyway. Bashing through a Murktide. All right, I'm going to send off a meme therapy and name You Are Already Dead. Okay, they wouldn't even let me do it. They knew what was happening. They didn't want to hear it. Okay, cool. Yeah, the mighty 3-mana Stinkweed Imp, 1/2 Flying Death Touch, held the fort against the Delver and a Murktide for long enough to figure out that medium multi-5 start through a Grafdigger's Cage. Easy game. Dredge is good. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
On the draw for round 2, with a breakthrough hand, if I break through turn 1, then nothing's really happening. If I break through turn 2, I could set up Cephalid Coliseum. I'm going to try this. Also, like a Putrid or Faithless Looting just pops me off here. Lion's Eye Diamond does the thing. I'm drawing pretty heavy, and my turn 2 will be really good, even if I brick. Could also just go to cleanup and dump a Grave Troll, since I'm on the draw. I think that's worse than getting my mana going in this build of the deck, though. Opponent mulled to 5. We might be getting just comboed off. Okay, Icarid in the graveyard. Does that change anything? And I'm guaranteed a creature next turn if I send it now. Okay, I'm just going to pass. An Underground Sea deck that mulled to 5 then didn't do anything. They didn't entomb in the end step. That's lucky. Wasteland. Shit. Well, didn't play around that. When Underground Sea decks mull to 5, I assume it's like Storm or Doomsday looking for something to do. Okay, I was just going to fire the Brainstorm, or Breakthrough. The Brain Through. I was going to fire my Brain Through. But now that I suspect they're scam, I'm just going to hit a land drop and see if I can continue to play around days and move my life forward here. You're griefing me. Okay, I'm losing my Breakthrough, and as a result, my discard outlet. But my hand is gassed up here. I can just cast Golgari Thug. We've seen that works. Awkward thing about Golgari Thug, though, when it dies, put target creature from your graveyard on top of your library. Not optional. Can target itself. So this is very hard to die this into your graveyard. We got an oh no in the chat. Yeah. Pick your poison here. They pitched a Reanimate to do that. I think Breakthrough is just pretty clearly the take here. Cephalid Coliseum, you need Threshold to activate, so I'm not just free rolling. But they're not super inclined to reanimate this Grief, though. If that was the plan, you don't actually want any of these cards in my graveyard. Come on, good card. Oh, baby. Get in my belly. Okay. They tried so hard, got so far. I'm going to put Troll and Thug into the bin and try to get something going next turn. They're on 3 cards, scared of what I'm doing. Appropriately so, I could say. Coliseum will be on next turn after I dredge. Okay, land number 2. This represents Bowmaster. I'm more worried about it killing itself than anything it might do to me. Directly. Dredge to Troll. Hit a Narco. There's no bridges in my graveyard. If I Faithless Looting here, I could discard Poxwalkers and then Cabal Therapy and check for stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it easy and just start with a looting. Dredge Grave Troll. Dredge Grave Troll. Got a lot of those now. I hit 1 bridge. Let's pop it out. Hit a bridge. Hit a Poxwalkers. Yeah, if I discard bridge and Poxwalkers, I still have dredges in the graveyard for next turn. And my Cabal Therapy right now is nuts. Okay, Cabal Therapy, target you. Bang. Here comes everything. Poxwalkers in. Bridge. Moment of Truth. Do you have a Bowmaster? No. What do I think might be in your hand? And do I have another therapy to look again? Okay, they're just packing it. You'll find a lot. I mentioned it game 1 and it happened, then it happened again here. A lot of the times when people are this far behind and about to have their hand looked at, they'll just hide information for game 2. Resilience. A quick perusal of MTG Goldfish for blue-black scam or scam reanimator decks showed me Unlicensed Hearse and Dothy Voidwalker as cards that they're likely to have, which means Chain of Vapor definitely coming in. I feel like Chain of Vapor probably just comes in all matchups forever. What comes out is so much harder than what goes in, though, as we saw last round where I just submitted 61 after panicking. I have 90 seconds to figure this out. I don't think I want to leyline them back. I don't know if they're that busted. Chain of Vapor. Stern Dismissal is better against Dothy Voidwalker, but worse against Unlicensed Hearse. They're forever cutting the Lotus Petal, because I'm confused about it. Icarid, because Poxwalkers does mostly the same thing. Breakthrough's a great enabler. I just realized that the Putrid Imp's a one-of. Cool. Just drew that last game when I really needed it. I feel like Icarid is a card that requires a lot of graveyard resources to get rolling, and for that reason, if I expect graveyard hate, I'm going to chill on it. The Ox is kind of in the same space, but the Ox is a way to just nut roll people. But I guess I'm going to settle into being chill. I wonder if you ever chill so hard you board out your Lion's Eye Diamonds. Dredge players, let me know. This hand's risky, but it does have counter hate in it. Opponent snapped off a 7. Alright, I'm going to keep this. I would like a 5-color land to complement this Otherworldly Gaze and do stuff. Poxwalkers is here. This Gaze can dump a Dredger and help me find my next land, both of which are issues right now. They stuck a Wasteland. Alright, Grave Troll into the graveyard. Careful Study, Careful Study, Lion's Eye Diamond. If they Wasteland me, I don't want either of these, or I don't want a Careful Study for sure. And then Lion's Eye Diamond. Can I control see this? Nope. Alright, too late. Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, I guess I'm dredging anyway. Alright, yeah, just bin it all. I'm dredging. It doesn't matter. Dredge Grave Troll. 2 Narcomoebas, good start, and a Cabal Therapy. Yes, get in. Yes, get in. Cabal Therapy, target you. Sack one of these Narcomoebas. I'm going to name Dothy Voidwalker. Got a fetch and response. Is it Bowmaster time? That would be a bad time. Yep, not ready for this card. Right, naming Dothy Voidwalker. 2 Force of Wills, 2 blue cards, and a Fatal Push. Okay. Well, we are in the discard and slow dredge phase of the game, which I can't even discard until next turn. So that sequence was really interesting because I did have Threshold and they tapped out, which means if I had a second land, the Coliseum just rips. But without a Dredger in the graveyard, Bowmaster lights me up. Okay. Yeah, they're in pretty good shape here. Firing the Wasteland and cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. That means we're working with perfect info still. But it also means they can nuke bridges whenever they feel like it. Discard a Grave Troll. 2 bridges in my hand is awkward though. Like I'm drawing so thin, or dredging so thin to more Grave Trolls. And with double force in their hand, I just have to slow dredge this and hope it works, even though I don't think it will. Nothing useful in my graveyard, just gonna discard this Grave Troll again. We're basically playing Manaless Dredge here. This is the intentional game plan of that deck. Okay, this pile is like whatever. I wonder if they play a single card that I could convince them. The top pile will be presented face up. Okay, I'm doing this backwards. Like, I don't want them to have Brainstorm or Bowmaster. And I wonder if they play a Dothy Voidwalker that I could make them think this is that, because that top pile is so tempting. This is a big risk, but I'm going to take it. I personally would just snap the 3 cards into my hand and be happy for it. Yep, they did the same. Yeah. Never fooled. If this game was closer, I would not have taken that big swing. That was absolutely on the back of, I'm behind and need to do something. Cycle the Troll. Yeah, we had 3 games of awesome Dredge stuff, and now this. It has to swing both ways, or else everyone would just play this deck. There's Murktide. Slow Dredge, baby. Poxwalkers in the graveyard now. Yeah, 2 Narcomoebas, 2 bridges already answered. I'm gonna just go to game 3. We can stop. Yeah, Ox of Agonis, Nature's Claim, the Stern Dismissal and Chain of Vapors are already in. And Icarid is good when you're slow dredging, which the Wasteland deck might put me into more often. Maybe I'll just drop this Nature's Claim. If they're going to have Grave Trolls, Force of Wills, if they have 1 Unlicensed Hearse, the Chain of Vapors still pokes it. I'm down 1 answer to a potential 1-of in their sideboard versus I already have in everything. And Lightning Axe is good against the Voidwalker. I think I'll go +1 Icarid minus the Nature's Claim and just try it like this. Okay, let's go. On the play. Good hand. Show it to me. This is another hand that is horrendous to Wasteland, but is pretty good to not Wasteland. I'm going to keep it. Coliseum pass. Ouch. Sending it right away. Otherworldly Gaze. If they have Force of Will too, this is going to be really tough. This is what I'm talking about, though, about force whatever you can out of Dredge, because this is, you can see from my side right now how important this Otherworldly Gaze is to me. I'd forget about Discard Outlet. If this just puts a land on top of my deck to cast this Breakthrough with, then we're cooking. Okay, graveyard all of these. And I don't think I'm going to Dredge Thug. How many mana sources are in my deck? 4, 7, 8, 9, 13, 17. And I boarded out the Lotus Petal. So there's 16 good draws in my deck versus just dredging this Thug and hoping for the best. Moment of truth. I'm going to draw. Okay. Punished. Underground Seas here now. Ponder. Yeah, the problem with Thug is it's also just the worst dredge in the deck. I'm going to draw again. Okay. Next turn, I end up in discard anyway, so the draw strat is continuing to move forward. Them with 2 mana, though, is a very different calculation than them with 0 on that first turn I chose to draw. Oh, now we're fucked. Okay, well, I better draw. Yikes. The Dredge Life giveth and taketh away. So now I need land and removal spell, and going to clean up is bad, and everything's bad. All right, Otherworldly Gaze. I'll give myself a chance to run 3 lands in a row and just start casting creatures, but I'm pretty sure we lost here. And that's one of those decisions that I'm sure a Dredge expert would have made correctly, or certainly differently. I could break through. Nope, I can't, because all those cards end up in the void. Never mind. I'm going to cast Putrid Imp. And this can't get Threshold because of Voidwalker. If they decide to ping it with Bowmasters, it's just dead. Cycling Lore Infield. Wasteland. Okay, I'm good. We don't have to do this all day. Yeah, we saw the strength of Dredge in round 1 and then game 1 of this match. And then you keep a hand where it's like, if I untap with a land between my draw step and just them not having Wasteland, you're around 40% to have a 4-of in your opening 7. And that was just like a 60-40 weighted coin flip that I lost. And That's fine. I also didn't draw a land for 3 turns while they deployed the best card in their deck. That's the Dredge life. You live on the margins. There's probably some math to it that a stronger Dredge pilot would have known 100% whether they should start slow dredging the Thug or try to spike the land there. I think when my opponent has no permanence in play, giving myself 2 draw steps to find the land and go nuts before Voidwalker can come down, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. Dredge life. On we go. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play in round 3 with a hand that sees a bunch of cards then draws a bunch more. I'm going to keep this, and my options are Cabal Therapy them on 1 and then try to Otherworldly Gaze, then Breakthrough on 2, or Gaze on 1 and then try to Loot and Breakthrough on 2. I think I'm going to try to Gaze on 1. I'm putting my worst land out first, because Faithless Looting is the next spell I want to cast, just in case they're a Wasteland strat. Street Wraith, okay. Looks like some scam is happening. Oh, interesting. Grixis Shadow? Is that a thing? Oh, it's some goofball deck. Grixis Azmoran is apparently happening here. Okay. Good to know. They've got a cookbook in their hand, which means I have a guaranteed hit with Cabal Therapy if I want to shoot my shot. Otherworldly Gaze in the end step. I'd like to see some dredgers here. And I'm not too upset if this gets countered because I have a double setup in my hand afterwards. A Daze it is. You got me. A dredger, please? Not a dredger. Okay. Now I have some choices. I could break through for 1 and keep a card. I could Faithless Looting and hope there's a dredger in my top 2 cards, but then Cephalid Coliseum doesn't cast spells after that. I think I'm going to go with the Faithless Looting, because I at least have Poxwalkers I could discard. And I'm pretty happy with, and then the Otherworldly Gaze triggers that. I found a dredger. Now we're shredding. Golgari Thug, Poxwalkers to the graveyard, Lion's Eye Diamond, and I'm just going to fire Breakthrough here. X equals 0. Let's see that deck flip. Thug, whiffed on other dredgers. Tough beats. All right, well, I'll discard all these cards and then flashback Faithless Looting, which will at least get Poxwalkers. And Cephalid Coliseum is threshold for next turn. Thug, Troll, hit 2 bridges. There's 2 therapies there. I'm going to have a bunch of idiots in play here. And we get to do the Poxwalker loop where it just brings itself back on each one. Cabal Therapy is going to name the Underworld Cookbook. I'm going to take the guarantee. Cookbook, Currency Converter. All right, this deck looks fun. Okay, cookbooks are out. I'm going to take Lightning Bolt so they can't nuke my bridges. I don't think I care about any of this other shit. Therapy again. Lightning Bolt's out of there. Daze, Currency Converter, and some lands are currently the hand. And those are all the spells I can cast. I have an overwhelming board presence versus a handful of blanks, and I can activate Cephalid Coliseum next turn. Cool. Dredge business. Volcanic Island's back. Currency Converter's at play. I'm going to Dredge Grave Troll, and then try to hurl my deck at my opponent. Target player draws 3, discards 3. I'll choose me. 27 cards in my deck, which means I could go ham on Grave Trolls without risk of decking. All right, hit all 4 Narcos on that run. Here's my graveyard. I have a Therapy. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 bridges. Another Poxwalkers. I have to Therapy pre-combat because I don't want Asmo to die. And I'm going to sack Poxwalkers to do it. We got 3 Poxwalkers, 4 Zombos. Guess I name Daze with this and then attack. So the Daze, naming Daze actually makes a 2/2 that can block this turn out of Currency Converter. I'm going to name something funny instead. You're already dead. Oh, I don't think Blood for the Blood God. Oh, it is here. Cool. Wait, what's the other funny one? Kill, maim, burn. That's the funny one. There we go. kill, main, burn. And just going to go to combat, and they should die next turn. Unless they have some sort of crazy engine that I haven't seen. I don't care if a zombie dies. I got more where that came from. And I will just pass the turn and I guess hope they don't play a Tabernacle of Pendrevale. There's the Trop. Cycling Lonely Sandbar will give them a treasure this turn. Okay, good. Warhammer cards coming in useful both in the Poxwalkers and in the funny Cabal Therapy names. Okay, this is not on my list of decks I can look for to know what sideboard they might be playing. Out of a rug deck, I would imagine Surgical Extraction and maybe Grafdigger's Cage, but we saw Uro in their deck, so any symmetrical stuff like Cage that they'd play does affect their deck at least a little bit. I definitely want Chain of Vapor basically all the time. That one is safe, like no matter what they're doing, it's going to get them. Leyline stops Tormod's Crypt, Bajuga Bog. There's a good chance this is an Urza Saga deck because of Asmo and the lands sub-theme that we saw, and we saw Currency Converter that looks like it would come out of a Saga trick or a Saga package. Claim and Dismissal both hit enchantments. Dismissal also hits creatures. Okay, I'm going to bring in the 3 blue cards and mostly keep it light here. Let's go. Love this hand. Super stable, lots to do. Doesn't mind a wasteland. Keep. Cycle to Wraith. Flooded String gets Volcanic Island. And there's the turn 1 Asmo again. We know they're a Daze deck. Oh wow, that Lion's Eye Diamond's really interesting. I don't think I fire that this turn, but I think it is going to be the part of the plan for next turn. Force of Negation targeting Lion's Eye Diamond. Yep. Everyone's on the correct level here of counter literally whatever you can. And I like Gaze better than Study to set up with. Even though Study guarantees a Dredger in the graveyard, Study is the one that draws, and Gaze just moves them around. They have a Wasteland. I'm not super worried about it this time. Just a nice change of pace. They got 3 cards in their hand. We know they play Daze. And there it is. Okay. Counter literally anything you can. Good practice. The bad news is, if they have a Oval Chase Daredevil and can start cranking out foods, the Asmo can kill itself to nuke my bridges at any time once they get 2 foods. That would have been so good to Gaze. I'm going to Gaze in their upkeep so they can't Daze it again. Let's see. Moment of Truth. Cool. I'm gazing now. Gaze and Daze, the mirror we've been waiting for. It's Volcanic Island, 2 mystery cards in the hand, and they're about to draw another one. Well, graveyard, keep Careful Study, I guess. Yeah, that Careful Study, I can at least study into Study, and then Dredge on the second one. This plays into Daze again. It's bad against Wasteland, but no Dredger in those cards is what it is. They passed without a play. Careful Study. I guess I could have been flashing back Gazes still and save these studies for a big turn. Oh, Moment of Truth. Do you have another Daze? Or can I Dredge a little bit? Surgical also gets me here because I only have 1 Dredger. B-Storm. Emergency B-Storm. 2 Narcomoebas gone already, though. That does hurt the engine a lot. I'm also at 10 life versus a 3-3, and all my lands hurt me. That also isn't great for my engine. My spell resolved, though. Dredge. Discard the 2 Dredgers. And bunch of junk in my graveyard. I can cast Narcomoeba and Flashback Therapy with it next turn. Yeah, we'll see what happens. They just brainstormed and didn't find a Surgical. And they're working through the brainstorm cards now. They still haven't discarded a card to this Underworld Cookbook for the whole time. I go to 7 when I tap my lands next turn. I'm at 6 or 5, depending on how I choose to tap them. I do have a Coliseum activation, too. That's pretty powerful. EE on 0. Oh, that's tough. Icarid can only exile Thug here if I want it back. I think I do want it back, though. I gotta get something going. Icarid's in. I could have activated Coliseum in response, and there would have been more black creatures in the graveyard. Maybe that was a spew. I'm willing to believe it. We're getting something going here. Uh-oh. It's waiting for them to pay costs. They have an effect here. Oh, they're brainstorming. Okay. Okay, Stinkweed Imp, Cabal Therapy, 2 therapies, 3 therapies, 1 bridge, no Poxwalkers. I'm going to Gemstone Mine and activate my Coliseum. Hope they don't stifle this. I think I can do better, though, before I start therapying. Dredge Imp. Oh, wow, I just missed and then drew 3 Dredgers. Yuck. Maybe that Icarid fucked me. I hit Poxwalkers, though. Okay. I'm going to go to combat and attack with Icarid, because this thing dies anyway. Okay, I can chain together multiple Cabal therapies here. There's 2 Poxwalkers, 2 bridges. I can't go too hard on the bridges, because they have the engineered explosives. Those are in. I think I'm going to name Lightning Bolt here. I just don't want to get burnt out. Lightning Bolt. Daze Force of Negation. Okay. Huh. Do I care about those? I can just interact with those next turn, because my Narco and Poxwalkers are still around. Yeah, I'm going to pump the brakes here and try to take over starting next turn. I guess I have a lot of Cabal therapies, don't I? But the explosives is pretty good. Okay. If explosives wasn't in play, I would go a lot harder here, but I just need to get stability and then flip it on them. They might even start discarding stuff to get the Asmo food engine going. Yeah, they're just dumping cards out of their hand now. Daze is gone. If Asmo clears bridges, I mean, she'd have to kill herself to do that, though. And then you're behind to the Poxwalkers. Ponder, that was a good draw. I hate when my opponent draws good cards. Yeah, I think last turn I was supposed to Cephala Coliseum in response to Icarid's trigger in my upkeep. That gives me more black cards in the graveyard, and I see more cards going into my draw step. That way it's less likely to whiff on any of the dredges, because the discard will happen before the mechanism of the draw step. Dredge is tough. They did not shuffle their Ponder, and they didn't do anything with Asmo. Okay. Here, what's in the graveyard to eat? Multiple Stinkweed Imps. Yeah, I don't need all of those anymore. Icarid's coming out. Oh shit. What just happened? I think I was confused by the Magic Online interface. Was I supposed to click on a black card there? I just clicked on what was there. Apparently I'm not getting an Icarid now. Alright, whatever. Okay. Go get them, team. And they can kill my bridges at will at this point anyway. I'm just gonna send the squad. I wish Icarid was among them. Okay, they just went to 3, and they're chilling. Okay, I'm gonna Cabal Therapy them using a Poxwalker. Take a look at this hand that they kept. They might discard the Force to the cookbook in response to this to hide the information that I know. Or not. Alright, I'll take the card that I know. Force of Negation. There's a Street Wraith over there. That's not a helpful one right now. And I'm going to cast Narcomoeba. If I do that, I go to 6. Yeah, that's fine. If their top card is Bolt, I could lose here. If I tap this, because I go to 6, they can pop EE, use 2 foods, roast Narcomoeba, attack for 3, bolt me, but then their top card would have to be a land and a bolt somehow, which is not possible. Okay, yeah, I'm going to cast Narcomoeba. Yeah, they only have 2 mana, and what I just described is a 3 mana play. Yeah, that 3 life, that misclicking on the Icarid, that's their life total. Ugh. I think it's going to be okay, but that was pretty shitty. Wow, cycled down to 1. Are they going to double bolt me? Did that Ponder see 2 bolts? Oh no. Oh, they do have it. Okay. Okay. Good job. You figured it out. Yep, the line is here. They just discard whatever this is, kill the Narcomoeba. They have to do this in the correct order, but it looks like they did it. Son of a bitch. I tapped into this, and I misclicked the Icarid. I did the math. I just didn't think they would cycle Street Wraith to 3 life, and should have thought of it. They have to do this correctly, though. They have to kill Narcomoeba before they engineered explosives. Oh, EE kills Asmo. This has no mana value. Get wrecked. We figured it out. Okay, never mind. I don't care. We're fine. Yeah, this thing dies to engineered explosives along with everything else. And then you lose. Okay. We backdoored it. Didn't do anything right, but still win. Cool. Whoops. They did set that up pretty well, except for the fact that their card costs the same as mine. Okay, we win the match. What a chaotic ride. Dredge creates the weirdest situations. Misplays, misclicks, and then also weird win anyway. Let's roll. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. Second through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bizarre Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 Foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the play in round number 4. This is another one of those hands where I'd rather gaze first, but looting guarantees a dredger in my graveyard. I'll keep. I'm going to fire the looting this time. I've been relying on gaze a little too much, and I'm just going to try doing something different. Faithless looting. Thug and Troll into the bin. Yeah, that sounds fine. Thug and Troll into the bin. I've said, here I am, this is what I'm doing. This is a turn 2 Cephalid Coliseum activation. Ancient Tomb. Okay. They could Solitude. Ancient Tomb decks could Solitude. That's a thing that might make my plays weird. Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, but if I use it... Oh wait, no, Narcomoeba would end up in the graveyard then. Do I want to just Therapy now and then Coliseum, or do I want to Coliseum and see if I can get more bridges in? Alright, I'm going to Coliseum now. Come on, Thug, find some more dredgers. We did it. Dredged the whole way up the chain. That initial Dredge 4 really turned it around for me. They discard Bridge, Poxwalkers, and I think Cabal Therapy. Just keep these dredgers in my hand now. Like, my claim's been staked. Now it's time to incinerate my opponent. 3 bridges, 2 Poxwalkers. I'm going to name Solitude if this resolves. Okay, they didn't pitch Solitude in response. What does that mean? Okay, they're just scooping before I could even see what they're playing. Once again, another turn 2 Cabal Therapy scoop in response. Okay, we know they have Ancient Tomb in their deck, which makes me think that Fairy Macabre is likely to be one of their graveyard hate pieces, or Leyline. I think Chain of Vapor just comes in all the time, no matter what. I feel like the Dread Return and the alternate monsters is for like super grindy blue decks that can force you, then you got to do other stuff. Maybe the Dread Return Ashen Rider could be good if this is some sort of stompy prison deck where I have to get through an Ensnaring Bridge. I don't have any other way to do that. And I could just bring in Nature's Claims that also hit Leyline of the Voids and hit Ensnaring Bridge. Oh wait, I have Chain of Vapors. I don't even know what I'm talking about. What is this even for? What a weird thing. Okay. We're back to the 4 cards I've been boarding out every round. And I just want to point out for both education and accountability, if you are just boarding out like one of this, one of that every round because you don't know exactly what's important in a matchup, you're sideboarding wrong. And I know I'm sideboarding wrong here. I just don't know what else I can do about it in this moment when I'm not a Dredge expert and I'm not going to be in the next hour. I think I actually want the breakthroughs because they send harder. And if Chalice of the Void is something they do to me, Nature's Claim and Chain of Vapor don't stop it anyway. But breakthrough I can put X mana into and get around a Chalice. Okay. I mean, this might be totally wrong. We will find out once we know what our opponent's actually playing this game. Or they'll just die and we'll never know. 2 possibilities. I wouldn't be sad about the second one. I'll be honest. We have 1 lander. I'm going to keep this. 1 lander with a bunch of gas. Leyline of the Void. Okay. Well, we are looking for one of the things we boarded in. Plateau. Okay, this could be Painter. Or it could be some initiative deck. Faithless Looting. Discard 2 Thugs. I could start casting Thugs, but fuck them. They're gone. I got a lot of those. I'm out here trying to find a Chain of Vapor. Archon of Emeria. All right, well, that card's hard to beat. Chain of Vapor. Interesting. I'm going to play City of Brass tapped. And I guess I just pass the turn here. If I cast Faithless Looting next turn and then break through the turn after that, maybe this game works somehow. A Chain of Vapor, get this Leyline out of here. They didn't play a card. It's good news. Would you like to sack a land to bounce your Archon of Emeria? You're allowed. Okay. They decided not to. Reasonable. Faithless Looting. Discard 2 Imps, I think, is the way. And I do have a land drop. Cool. All right. It's coming together, kind of. We'll see what they follow up with here, but they didn't do anything with 5 mana last turn, and they're 2 black away from casting that ley line again. Uh-oh, 1 black away. No, that's their spell for the turn. Fine, that's fine. They're kind of under their own Archon at this point. We'll see if they discard a Fairy Macabre, but having Leyline and Fairy Macabre in your deck is a lot. If I get to my draw step here, we'll know we're okay. Nope, we're not okay. All right, fair enough. I can't draw any cards at instant speed here. I'm not threshold. Okay, Fairy Macabre. Makes sense why you kept the hand now. Okay, Putrid Imp is a nice piece of tech here, actually. Putrid Imp is my spell. And then I can discard a bunch of stuff, including the bridge, get threshold easily, get a dredger in. Okay, next turn is go time now. They still can't Lotus Petal plus Leyline, because that's against the rules. Oh god, what do you need 8 mana for? I hate this. Oh, is this a 4th Aerolingus for lethal? Oh, hell yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I cannot get threshold. I'm exactly 1 short of getting threshold to try to like put some Narcomoebas in or something. All right, that was cool. Yep, there's not a way to do this. All right, GG. Well done. Yeah, just off balance enough to get me dead. Nature's Claim coming in. And if I have any Cabal Therapies in my hand, they're going to be naming Fairy Macabre. We've seen both of those pieces now. I get to be on the play this time. A Chain of Vapor and Nature's Claim. Do I want Stern Dismissal also? I really don't want to have to beat or play with a Nature's with a Leyline of the Void and play for very long. Is Oxyvagonus a cut? Like that's a card that doesn't really work if there's hate in play. And in general, the bread and butter dredge stuff will beat this deck if they don't have a powerful hate piece in place. So I think I should prioritize answers to powerful hate pieces. Cabal Therapy specifically is really good against Fairy Macabre, but also I feel like I might have room to cut one here, but having one in my hand is nice, which is not always true. Do I just play 61 again like a maniac? I could probably cut a Thug. Like cutting Dredgers never makes me super happy, but that's the worst one, and I already cut the Icarid, so I don't even need the help of this thing to be a black creature. Let's go. I'll try it like this. Okay. I have Game to Play and an answer to Leyline, which they did not have. Careful Study, discard Imp and Therapy, I guess. Yeah, Imp and Therapy. The problem is Fairy Macabre gets 2 things no matter what I discard there. And they're all valuable unless I'm willing to dump a Southlight Coliseum, which I'm not. If they turn 1 Magus of the Moon me, then I'm slow dredging and it's not that bad. Lotus Petal, Archon of Amiri is annoying. I'm pretty sure I can beat an initiative creature. We're about to find out. There's Seasoned Dungeoneer. This is pod racing. The dumbest shit available from 2 different strategies. They've got a mountain in their hand. They stopped in my upkeep. If they have Macabre, yep, that's annoying. And I'll draw for my turn. Otherworldly Gaze. All right, I will gaze Bridge, LED Poxwalkers all into the graveyard. Play another Coliseum. I can dismiss the Seasoned Dungeoneer, and maybe they can't replay it. I'm going to let them forge onto this. I hope they go for forge anyway. Cool. All right. Bounce that right now. I have 6 cards in my graveyard, almost threshold. If I flashback Otherworldly Gaze, we could get there. Mountain. They pass with no play. I think I just play the 3rd Coliseum. I have to flashback Gaze. I guess I could hit Narcomoeba Therapy here, so I should main phase the Gaze. Oh, I also just Poxwalkers in my graveyard. Good one, me. Faithless Looting, Confluence. None of these are dredge creatures. Graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Send it all. Just trying to get threshold here. And I did. I'm going to take 5, which is worrisome given my mana situation. Lion's Eye Diamond would be a great draw. Then I can activate multiple Coliseums this turn. They can replay this jerk and draw a card. At the minimum. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to go to... Oh, alright. They're just going for 1. Sure. I'm at 8. Race is on. Come on, Lion's Eye Diamond or other blue mana source. Cabal Therapy, fuck you. Alright. Well, target player draws 3. Gotta do one of these. And these are just natural draws. come on, deck. All right, well, Poxwalkers, Bridge from Below, Cabal Therapy can all go to the graveyard here. And then I have LED and Breakthrough. That is a lot of cards. Got to figure out how to use them. Okay, Cabal Therapy is in my graveyard right now. I think I'm just going to Therapy them and name Macabre. And then try to move forward with my turn from there. 2 Poxwalkers, 2 Bridges. Okay, I think they would have Macabre if they had it. I'm going to name this season Dungeoneer. Leyline of the Void in hand and Chaos Adventurer. And now I play Mana Confluence and target myself with Cephalid Coliseum. No, I have to do some stack stuff here, I think. Does stack stuff even matter? Okay. LED. I think I cast Breakthrough in response. Breakthrough for 0. In response, sack LED for blue and activate Cephalid Coliseum. That gives... So I have the option here to go flip 3 cards, hope a Dredger's among them, and then dredge 4 times, if there is one. Or see 4 cards, hope a Dredger's among them, then dredge 3 times. I think I'm supposed to break through first just to make sure I find the Dredger, because if I miss on a Dredger, yeah, this gives me the most chances to find that. All right, breakthrough for 0. Done. We did find Dredgers. Good news. A Dredger. Blue, blue, blue. There is a Gaze in there. I'm going to start with a Gaze. Found 3 more Dredgers. Okay. Graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. It's all there. Target me. Come on, deck. Troll, Imp, Troll. And how do we do? There are therapies in here. That's good. There's a therapy in here. Therapy, name him Caves of Chaos Adventurer. And I'm just barely clinging to life here. Caves of Chaos Adventurer has been named. Their hand is a bunch of mana and Leyline of the Void. They're not beating my board right now, but they have a lot of good draws, and they draw 2 cards next turn because of the Archive, and then they're in Throne of the Dead 3 the turn after that. But I should have the Monarch and the Initiative by then. Okay, I've done what I could do. Pass the turn. I'm at 6. Fingers crossed. That was a big turn, though. That was awesome. And I have another Cephalid Coliseum activation for next turn. I can dump the rest of my deck. I don't think that's how you actually play the game. There's no Dragon Lure Kolagon or Flamepin Zealot or anything that gives my squad haste. I have to leave some cards left in my deck. Moment of truth. Did you rip hot or not? Had 2 looks. Cavern. There's that. An initiative creature just throws them into the throne and then it gets ugly. Oh, come on. Is this Fury? I don't think I mind a Fury. So they have to kill one of their own creatures and then some of mine. I think, like, kill one of your horses and my 2 Poxwalkers is probably the way I would do this. Okay, they're just killing my zombies. That's fine. All my bridges are still there. But they can attack me to 2 now if I want to keep my bridges. Oh, just no attack. Love it. Okay. They're at 14. Let's pop this graveyard out. I am going to dredge Troll for my draw. Have I really encountered 0 Narcomoebas in the top 45 cards in my deck? Well, I'm likely to hit some this turn. That's how that works. There's 1 therapy left. Dredge Grave Troll. There's an Narcomoeba. Finally. I obviously edited out all the dead air, but my opponent, it's been like 3 full minutes since my turn started, and it's kind of annoying. I don't know if they're double queuing or what's going on here. Let's get it done. Okay, I can... Is there a way to activate Cephalid Coliseum without dying here? I can dredge 4, then draw 2. I'll have 3 cards left in my deck. I could dredge 5 and draw 2. I'll have 2 cards left in my deck. If I attack before I do any dredging, I'm going to do... All right, I'm going to go to 5 here. And is there a Grave Troll? 6, 7, 8. I could go to 1 card in deck. All right. Blue, Cephalid Coliseum, target me. Almost out of cards here, but that also means we mostly know what they are. I have to decide if I want to dredge 4, dredge 5, or dredge 6. And if I want 1, 2, or 3 cards left in my deck at the end as a result. Oh, if I get the Monarch. Okay, I can't dredge Troll. I'm going to get the Monarch this turn, which means I can't dredge Troll. Imps 5, 6, 7, 2 cards left. Monarchs 1 card left. And then I draw for turn. And I have to win on the following turn. I'm going to dredge Imp. A Dredge, Stinkweed Imp, hit a Narcomoeba, decline the other Dredge, drew a Narcomoeba, discard Troll, Imp, Confluence. Not sure if that actually matters. Okay, I did hit the other Narcomoeba. Did I hit the Cabal Therapy? I really needed that and missed on it. Did I miscount? Are they all gone? Nope, one of the last 2 cards on my deck is Cabal Therapy right now. I didn't board one out, did I? I thought about it. I thought I backed off of that. Yeah, okay. One of the last 2 cards on my deck is Cabal Therapy. And the other one's Narcomoeba. I know 2 of the 4 cards in their hand right now. What I can't beat is Solitude if I attack with 3 things, or 4 things. I have to leave blockers back, and I want to take the Initiative and Monarch. Oh, but they have a trample creature. They have 2 trample creatures. Okay, really needed that Cabal Therapy, I didn't get it, but here's my attack. I lose to Solitude no matter what. They enter the Throne of the Dead 3 next turn. I kind of need them to mess up on these blocks. Like, if they trade off their knights, that's good for me. Yeah, trading with Poxwalkers is insane. Like, just blocking Poxwalker in general. Just give me bridge triggers. That's what I need here. Okay, great. This is a great block for me. This gives me 4 creatures. I lost 1 creature, I get 4 creatures. These are all blockers this turn and attackers next. They lose the Initiative and the Monarch here. Monarch's a little dangerous. It means I have to win next turn, but I think that's where this game was going anyway. Search for a basic land. Cabal Therapy, Narcomoeba. We did it. We solved the puzzle. Okay, I am the Menarche. I have lots of blockers. I have lethal on board. Pass the turn. I will try to win this game with 0 cards in my deck. That's the plan. F6, baby. Chrome Mox. Oh, if they fire a second round of horses here, then they win. This is a lot of mana. If they have another 4th, yeah, it looks like that's what's happening. Okay, giant 4th Aerolingus Fireball. Got me done both games. How many horses is this? 6. So if I had this Cabal Therapy, I would have 4 more zombies than I do now, but 1 less Narcomoeba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 8. 1, 2. Yeah, I think I might survive combat here, but they get the Throne of the Dead 3 trigger. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Let's see what attack they make. They might just hold back on D and try to deck me. I haven't done the math. That's their job. I think they have exactly lethal here if they go with everything. It looks like they figured it out. Block, 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 block. And this is exactly 5 damage. Yep, that Narcomoeba not milling is the difference between getting another turn or not here. First strike damage happens first, but it's not like the Narcomoeba dies and then I can block with these 4 new zombies. Okay, this was a fun game. This is super tight. In both games they won came down to elbow tapping a 4th Aerolingus Fireball, which is a reasonable place to be. On to the final round.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
I'm on the play for the final round. I have a LED nut start. I'm just going to try to send it here. Positive Record's on the line. This is the first time we've gotten this hand all league, and I'm going to blast it. I could slow my roll and just careful study this turn, then break through next turn, but I could also just try to get a turn 1 win for the first time. Turn 1 effective win. You can't actually win on turn 1 with this build, I don't think, because your creatures don't have haste, and there's no way to do it. But you could put 20 power into play and discard all the cards in their hand. That could happen. Okay, they mull to 5. I'm going to cast Lion's Eye Diamond, Cephalic Coliseum. Here's how this works. You hold priority on Breakthrough, and then sack LED for red in response to enable Faithless Looting, and then you dredge, hopefully, the whole deck. Stinkweed Imp, Troll, Troll, Imp. That was pretty good, actually. And I see some Faithless Lootings in there. We're going. It's happening, team. Pop this graveyard out. Here it is. I see looting, 3 Narcomoebas, a couple bridges. There's no therapies yet. Faithless Looting, let's go. Trigger these Poxwalkers. If I find 2 therapies, I think I win this game. Dredge Troll and Dredge Troll. I see 2 therapies, okay. I think it'll be hard to lose this game from here. Therapy, target you, sacking Poxwalker. I'll never get tired of that. Let's see if they scoop to this, or if their hand can beat it. Yep, okay. A turn 1 win, we did it. They mulled a 5, then didn't interact with any free permission. I suspect this is a combo deck of some variety. I'm going to bring in my Chain of Vapors and Stern Dismissals, and think about Golgari, or not Golgari, Dothy Voidwalker. Oh, Golgari Voidwalker, watch out for that one. Last round I talked myself into Thug being cuttable, so now I'm in on that life forever. Thug, Petal, Icarid, and just bring in the 3 bounce spells until I know any better. Here we go, let's try it. 2 Narcomoebas in my hand, no discard outlet, no draw. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, I'll keep this. Some counter hate, some hand hate, and I could set up dredgers. Do I want the 2 thugs here? I think I want 1 thug, and I want to hold on to Gaze. I'm going to bottom a thug. Okay, what are you? Oh, it's the mirror. Yes, let's go. Oh, no, but they had the Lotus Petal. Does that mean I lose? I boarded mine out. Thoughtseize. Okay, maybe it's not the mirror. Luckily, I have 2 setup cards here. And you could play Thoughtseize and Dredge, I guess. Nothing's stopping you. I don't know what the other deck Gemstone Mine would be in. Oh, 5 color depths. Rainbow depths? That's what could be happening here. If so, that is a bad matchup. I think setting up my Gaze is the best thing I can do. I could Cabal Therapy, naming Crop Rotation. Rainbow Depths is a deck that plays more than 1 Lotus Petal. They play Gemstone Mine, they play Thoughtseize, and they would mull to 5 and concede to a Dredge game. But they also have a ton of hate in the main deck for Dredge. Yeah, okay. Confirmed. Told ya. Sylvan Scrying. Getting Thespian Stage. I'm going to Otherworldly Gaze here. This is a deck that plays Flusterstorm and can play Veil of Summer, both of which are not really where I want to be with my life. Okay, Grave Troll and Icarid to the graveyard. Do I want to draw and blast this Breakthrough into their potential crop rotation? All right, I think I'm just going to graveyard everything and dredge Grave Troll. I'll settle into slow dredging here. Dredge Grave Troll, hit a Narco, and a Therapy. That's actually great. And a Poxwalkers. We're doing everything. Okay, Therapy, target you. I'm going to name Crop Rotation if this resolves. If they Crop Rotation in response, that sucks. But I am holding Stern Dismissal that can bounce a Merit Lage. And if they Crop Rotation now to blow up my graveyard, then they can't protect it with Sajiri Step next turn. Surgicling my Poxwalkers in response, okay. Those are good cards, and now they're gone. And I did miss on Dredgers, so there is no dredging going on. Target you, name Crop Rotation. Dark Depth, Thespian Stage, okay. I see the line. I can Therapy myself and name Grave Troll and just slow dredge and hide behind the Stern Dismissal. Cabal Therapy, Golgari Grave Troll on me. This does reveal my hand, but they've already seen it. And pass the turn. There's the Depths. Icarid can eat Putrid Imp here. I won't misclick it, and I hope to dredge a bridge. I did hit a bridge, good news. An attack for 3. There's a Therapy in there as well. I can fire another Therapy at them and just know what's going on, or not. Okay, Therapy, target you. I'm going to say not of this world. They could have Crop Rotated in response. Flusterstorm. Oh no, that's just as good. Now I need another Therapy next turn. Okay. Yeah, Flusterstorm's good. That does the trick. But it doesn't if I hit another Therapy. Thespian Stage is in. I've used 2 of these already. Alright, deck, let's do it. Icarid comes in. I can eat Golgari Thug at this point. Come on, Cabal Therapy. Budgers. 1, 2, tap. Yep, and they have exactly enough mana to not be worried about this. Okay. I just picked the wrong piece of counter hate with my Therapy. If I named Flusterstorm last turn, I think we're ahead. But I didn't. GG. I think this is where I bring in the Ashen Rider. That would actually work here. We finally found a matchup for it. Okay, and I'm not even going to... Alright, fine, I'll cast my spell. I'll give them the satisfaction of Flusterstorming it. Because of the weirdos who tell me, let your opponent make a mistake, like they're going to forget they have Flusterstorm in their hand. All right. Ashen Rider, Dread Return, I believe, come in here. I still like the bounce spells because they interact with Merit Lage. Dread Return, Ashen Rider, Ox of Agonis. If I have a nut turn 1, Ox of Agonis is useful, but if we play any sort of game after that, they have so many ways to get Bojuka Bog into play. This is actually a really bad matchup. Any lands-based matchup is tough for graveyard decks because they have crop rotation for Bog just built in, plus whatever they board in on top of that. I don't think I can board out a second Thug. That's too much. Gone. I do like the Ashen Rider. Can I cut a Poxwalkers? That's pretty important, but we've seen Surgical Extraction. I don't know, Surgical's going to get something at all times. For 60, wanting it, let's go. Faithless Looting does get 2 different Dredgers into the graveyard. All right, I'll try it. This is insulated against Surgical. It still gets got by Bojuka Bog with no real plan to follow up. They kept 7. Perfect. We can never win. Looting. All right, Chain of Vapor is a good find. Troll, Imp in the bin. Gemstone Mine for you, and Duress can only take 1 card, and it's the card you would have wanted anyway. I'm just going to start dredging. We hit a Narco and an Otherworldly Gaze. That's a good hit. That gives me something to do with my mana. I think I should cast this now in case I hit Cabal Therapy. Bridge, Gaze, Poxwalker, all of them in. Unfortunately, I missed on Therapy, but I mean, that's good for next turn, but they've just untapped into Bojuka Bog. Seiju, Elvish Reclaimer. Elvish Reclaimer is another route to Bojuka Bog, so next turn's going to be very important for me. Dredge, Stinkweed Imp. Hit another Narco. There's Poxwalkers and Therapy in the graveyard right now. If they go for Bog, this is actually great because I have a free spell and a spell that costs mana. If they go for Bog, I can Otherworldly Gaze over top of it and at least get my Poxwalkers in. Appears to be what is happening. And this isn't great, like it sucks, but at least I'm not losing everything. Yep, here's the crop rotation. There's the Bojuka Bog. Otherworldly Gaze over top of that. Get my Poxwalkers back. Anything I put in the graveyard is gone forever here. Well, forget you, Ashen Rider, I guess. I guess I could just draw and cast this Breakthrough next turn. I'm about to draw now, so I guess I'd want Breakthrough. Where would I want Breakthrough? I could give up on Ashen Rider, or I could keep it around. Thug could go in my hand right now. I break through, my graveyard's full. I'm about to draw up to 6, and then next turn would be 7, and then I would go to discard, and then I could break through with a Troll 3 turns from now. That's a long time with an Elvish Reclaimer in play. Okay, I'm actually gonna go top. Let the Bug hit me. Oh, I already drew for turn also. This is actually a full turn behind where I even thought it was. Whoops. Yikes. All right, well, wish I was drawing Breakthrough next turn, but here we go. Poxwalkers, carry me. 3-1 Death Touch. Too good. There's no good hit for Thoughtseize or Duress here if they have any of those. Virtual card advantage. I don't think they play 2 Bogs, but it could be. It could happen. They tapped and then untapped a black mana. They're thinking about if it's worth it to Thoughtseize. Unfortunately for me, Thoughtseize does time walk me on my plan of getting to discard a Grave Troll then Breakthrough. I'm just going to cast the Breakthrough when I draw it, probably. If they Thoughtseize me, I'm definitely doing that. That's being staged. They could also just sprint straight to Merit Lage here. If they have some Spirit Guides, they might even be able to do it now. Yeah, I really wish that was Breakthrough. Lost track of where I was in my turn, and gonna burn for it. Yeah, now they're representing Merit Lage when I could have at least tried to dredge some stuff next turn. And the Reclaimer can get Sejiri Step to make it pro-blue, so they can attack through Narcomoebas. That's not even going to help me. Yeah, got the whole squad here. They Thoughtseize. Well, unfortunately, they're not all Dredgers, or else that might have given me new life. If they just take Icarus or Poxwalker here, it doesn't matter. If I had 2 mana instead of 1, I could break through for... No, that'd still be tapped out. Never mind. That doesn't make any sense. They have the Hex Mage also. They just have every angle covered here. Icarus cannot eat anybody. Breakthrough. Let's go. Hope for the best here. They just discard everything. And hope they don't know about Sejiri Step. Yeah, this matchup is so bad. 2020 confirmed. Oh no, they know about Elvish Reclaimer. Unlucky. Okay. Faster combo deck that has naturally positive gameplay versus Dredge anyway. Good job. Okay, a 2-3 record, which honestly, I'm not a Dredge expert. I'm also the type of person who doesn't think a format's good if Dredge is good. I don't think that biased my play, but if I just easily 5-0'd with Dredge, I would have been like, oh no. I think Poxwalkers is cool. The ability to put it back in off of a Cabal Therapy that you sacked it to cast is insane. That's basically as close to free as anything gets in Magic the Gathering. And those loops, we had a couple of them come up where there's 3 therapies, 3 bridges in the graveyard, and you just have a Poxwalkers in play, and then you pass the turn with 9 zombies and Poxwalkers still in play. That's a really nice self-contained engine. Parts of this deck are too big brain for me as a smooth brain control player. The 1 Lotus Petal, like I mentioned, the 1 Putrid Imp, the sideboard plan, like when do you switch into Dread Return, 2 Leyline of the Void, 3 Leyline of Sanctity. We're just picking numbers here. I did as well as I could with my ability to play Dredge, and I think we showcased the highs and lows of the deck pretty well. Some of the cool stuff you could do. Notice some stuff I didn't do optimally as we went through. Some of it hurt, some of it didn't. But as far as showcasing Poxwalkers, we did that. This card showed up often, and it was good. Dredge players rejoice. You have a new tool. Brendan, thank you for giving me the chance to showcase this new card. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.